What's your favorite color? What would your mind just go right to? Answering the question. That's called instinctive elaboration, and it's helped us survive as a species. Is that going to kill me? What was that noise? These kinds of questions are crucial for survival. However, in today's day and age, it could also be working against you. While most of us aren't asking the kinds of questions that our ancestors had to, I bet you've been asked a question that you just could not stop thinking about. Maybe it was something simple like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or something more existential like, what's the purpose of all of this? Questions like these have a way of burrowing into our mind and demanding answers, even if you're busy with something else entirely unrelated. This is a reflection of how your brain is wired. The more concerning questions we get asked are the ones we ask ourselves. Why am I not good enough? Why am I not skinny enough? Why am I not confident enough? Your brain is answering these questions, whether you realize it or not. Questions hack its focus, and then it answers the questions it's asked automatically and subconsciously, no matter what it is. But why does your brain do this? And more importantly, how can understanding it help you manage those spirals of overthinking that seem to follow? It's a great question. Okay, but before we dive in, if you're new here, hi, I'm Cody. My degree is in cognitive neuroscience, and I'm trained in IFS psychotherapy. I spent over 22,000 hours studying the nervous system and the mind so that you don't have to. I've helped thousands of overachievers and anxious achievers heal relationship trauma and high-functioning anxiety with neuroscience. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button below so you never miss a video. All right, well, let's dive into this thing. At its core, instinctive elaboration is your brain's way of prioritizing. When a question is posed, especially one that feels open-ended or emotionally charged, your brain shifts its resources towards finding an answer. This happens because the human brain evolved to solve problems. Unanswered questions represent uncertainty, and uncertainty often equated to danger for early humans. So here's the chain of events, essentially, that's happening under the hood during an instinctive elaboration, okay? All right, so what's the trigger? A question sparks a reflex. So a question grabs your attention and sets off a mental reflex, essentially. This happens almost automatically as your brain shifts gears to focusing and finding an answer. It starts to scan for cues, okay? So imagine that a person flinching, right, at a question in a meeting, okay? They're scanning for clues. Your brain's frontal eye field directs your eyes to look around, seeking information in your environment or visualizing related mental images. This process uses the fovea, a part of your eye specialized for detail, okay? Weighing emotional outcomes comes next. So your orbital frontal cortex kicks in then. It's evaluating different possible answers based on how they might make you feel or what emotional outcome that they could lead to. Okay. Then you start to connect the dots. The anterior cingulate cortex, ACC, acts as like a hub, combining emotional signals, sensory input, and memory to make sense of the question and estimate the best possible answer. Then it dives into memory. Okay. These things all happen. It's not like in a direct causal chain or like step by step necessarily. Like your brain doesn't necessarily work like that. It works more like a network. So there's parallel processing and things that happen at the same time. So just wanted to clarify that as we're going through this. Okay. Because next you dive into memory, but you kind of are always doing that. Okay. So your hippocampus, which is your brain's memory center, one of them, especially when new memories are formed, searches through past experiences for relevant information that could help you answer the question. Okay. Next is reward and relaxation. As you begin to piece together answers, your brain releases serotonin, helping you relax, and dopamine, rewarding you for making progress. This motivates you to keep going. Okay. The default mode network is a brain network that's tied to interoception and imagination. So this becomes active as well. It helps you brainstorm, reflect, and think creatively about the question. Okay. There's also a exploration system that's activated. So your brain's seeking system, driven by dopamine pathways, energizes you to explore possibilities and come up with new ideas. Okay. There's also a brainwave symphony and synchronization that happens. Okay. So during the exploratory phase, your brain waves synchronize in a specific pattern. Theta waves, which are linked to creativity and problem solving in the hippocampus, pair with gamma waves linked to decision making in the frontal brain, like the front of your prefrontal cortex, the front of your head. Okay, so what's the result of all this brain activity? Your brain gets hooked on answering the question, often at the expense of everything else you were supposed to be focusing on. From an evolutionary perspective, instinctive elaboration was a survival advantage. Okay, so think about early humans. They faced countless problems, from finding food to avoiding predators. Today, the stakes are a lot lower generally, but the brain's mechanisms haven't changed. We have been humans for so many years. We've only been modern humans for a few. Okay, so just think about that, how old your brain really is. Okay, this is why it's so easy for your mind to treat questions about an overdue email as if they're life or death